Welcome to PaddyCast. In this episode, we are joined by WBC International cruiserweight champ Tommy McCarthy. Tommy, how are you?
All good. How are you, my friend?
I'm okay myself. So Tommy, it's great to have you on. So tell me, how did you're obviously a very successful boxer, but tell us how you get started boxing.
Well, I was always a boxing fan from I was young. Um, I don't come from a boxing family or anything. I'm an only child, no brothers or anything to follow at the gym. But Seamus Deeds used to work with my dad, and I always wanted to join from I was around like 10. I always wanted to go to boxing, but because it was always big for me age, my dad wouldn't let me join because he thought it would have been fighting bigger, like older people. He didn't know that it went by ages too. He thought it just went in weight. So once he started working with Shamey Deeds, Shamey got me one night and says, "Here, you're a big Tom's kid." I says, "You want to do a bit of boxing?" Yeah, aye. I'd call down tomorrow, 6:30. I'll bring you down to the club, see if you like it. So he brought me down to Oliver Plunkett, and I liked it. The rest is history, as they say.
So, what age is that?
I was just I just was right before I turned 12. It was like October time,
Yeah.
2002.
So you
So
started when you were 12. Like, when was the first time you won the All Irelands?
the first time was boy 14.
Yeah, and obviously, so boy four, your first All Ireland title, and I think maybe 3 years after that, there you went to the World Youth Championships.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Went out there, only ended up getting a medal, didn't I, Paddy?
That's it.
We
Did
bronze
bronze.
medal. So that was great that time because the it was after the Beijing Olympics, the ones that you went to, and your success, you, Kenny, Darn, getting them medals. That gave every like all of Irish boxing like a lift. So
Yeah,
up until that point, Irish boxing was, don't know if you could say it was in the gutter, but it wasn't too far away from the gutter. Nobody was doing much.
yeah,
So after the Beijing Games, that gave everyone a new lease of life. So that trickled down in the youth team. They're like, right, the lads just went and got these medals. Like, so we're not here to participate. We're here to win
yeah.
medals. So our whole camps, everything was like built off the way you approach the Olympic Games. So for us going to these, because it was the first youth championships as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So we approached this World Championships where look, we're here to win gold. We're here to win medals, but we're here for gold. And the training camp was exactly like mimicked
Yeah,
yours.
like,
Pretty much.
like obviously you went to the World Youths. You came back with a bronze medal. And that's an unbelievable achievement. I was never as successful as a junior as you. Like, I never got to those Europeans or worlds that, but you did, and you won a medal there. So after you come home, like from youth, the next progression is senior. So you were already heavyweight, and so too was Kenneth Egan. So what confidence did it give you winning that bronze medal at the Worlds and then turning senior, even though at your weight was the reigning Olympic silver medalist Kenneth Egan?
Mm. Well, the bronze medal at the Worlds, it was kind of like the way you felt getting bronze medal at the Olympics. I was devastated because I went out there to win gold, and I really felt like I was going to win gold. And then in that semi final, I thought I'd done enough to win. So I was devastated, but I never, when I started boxing as a kid, I never like had dreams of going to the Olympics or anything like that. I just wanted to go pro. And I was going, as soon as I turn 18, I'm gonna go pro. So when I came back for any championships, I was 17, just getting ready to turn 18. So I got a couple offers to go pro, no off the back end World Youth.
All right.
But then I was like, no, look, I'll stick around. only just 18. I'll go for the seniors. So I went into the seniors. Patsy put me in more for experience. Patsy McCarthy was my coach, but I went in like full of confidence because as an underage boxer, I was just wiping the floor with anyone. So I went in thinking senior was going to be the same kind
Yeah.
of, but you get a wake up call when with the likes of all the fights that I had in the seniors were hard that year because it was my first time boxing senior. But Kenny Egan just showed me that the difference between senior and youth is such a massive gulf.
Like, as you said there, it is a massive gulf. For any youth boxer you must at the minute, even though it was like I think it was 9-5 or 8-5. You had two fights,
Uh,
and 9-5. I can't remember what the first one was,
the
but
first one was 9-5.
the second was 8-5. Yeah.
Yeah, second one was 8-5.
But like as you say, you went there with confidence. I think I agree with you in a way because I actually remember your first training camp with us, like this as a senior team in Jordanstown. You come up, the swagger, all dead cocky, thought you were it. So I kind of got that from you straight away. That but that's a great mindset to have. That's how people become successful, like believing in themselves, and you can tell. Well, from me looking at you from a young age, it was easy to tell, like you were going to be successful because you have so much self belief. But what was it like for yourself as a young fighter, challenging someone of Ken Egan's caliber, like did that motivate you, like for
Yeah,
further success?
the first time the first year around, I absolutely loved it as because Egan's only back from the Olympics, so he was the nation's sweetheart. So I was like, yes, I'm coming in here to spoil the party, and I knew I was going to be on live on RT, and I think that was probably my first time boxing on TV
Yeah,
in Ireland. Definitely was my first TV appearance. So I loved it, and all the media in the build up. Gee, I had on some shit talk. It was wild. And remember before the seniors, we all, everyone who was entering, or well, the big names, we all went down and we done like a press conference.
yeah,
And all the photos in the ring, and like everyone, even before the championship, everyone kind of was hoping that me and Kenny would meet in the final. So me and him done a head to head and all in the stadium, I think. And I says, just talk away, our lads, no, like while he was taking photos. And I looked at him. I said, you're fucked. And he went, oh, them's fighting words. And so I just reveled in so much. But then, as I say, when I boxing, I knew I was way off the mark. Even though it was a good close enough fight, but
yeah,
he didn't box to his full potential, and I didn't box the man's. But I just knew that if I fight this guy again, I'm gonna have to work
yeah,
like like I've never worked before because this is the top of the pops here. So the next year in, I tried my best to stay away from the media and not talk to them and not get wrapped up in the hype. And I really knuckled down the next year and it's like I'm not down here to act a fool and try
yeah,
and be famous. I'm here to win the championship. And I was really devastated the second year because I really believed that I won that fight. And even though I watch it back now, I think I won it. And it was like it was just so heartbreaking. And that was the time when the computer scores would come up, so people could see, and he
yeah.
was
Turn
going up,
around.
and I was leveling up and level up level. It was just, and then I actually cried my eyes out after it because I was like, wow, I've done everything I could in training and in that
Yeah.
fight, like, and it still came up short. So I was devastated for him.
Like after those kind of fights, so did you believe then that you belonged at like the elite level?
Yeah, definitely, because then, especially after actually after the first year, because when you get to the Irish final, then if you get beat, you're on the pre-elite.
Yeah,
So I was able to get out and get some experience. So my first pre-elite tournament, you go and I was boxing. There's number ones there, even though you're the number two, you're boxing against other countries number ones.
yeah,
So I won my first tournament I went to, my first senior tournament. So I knew I belonged, and then the next year, and I ran even close.
Is that the GB?
No, the first one I went to was in Albania. I think they called it
Okay.
Tirana. I think it
Yeah.
was called. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I knew once I got on the scene and I was like winning medals and winning tournaments, I knew that like I wasn't out of my depth.
And I think it was two two seasons. I'll say later. You know, myself included, but we wanted to come off games in India, and for the team, it was a very successful game. And you yourself, come back with a silver medal. How did you feel, winning the silver medal? What did that mean to you? Even though I felt you were better than Johnson, but
Yeah,
not for you.
I think I actually had no. I was going to say I froze. I didn't freeze. This is what happened. But I'm holding you responsible for me not winning the gold medal because we're on the final. I'm sitting backstage watching the fights come, and then seeing you come out with take guard, and Paddy can't back to it, but you come out with take guard and you won. And I was like, right. And then Paddy Gal fought after, see him again, take guard, and he won. So we fucking I ain't gonna do take
Game of
guard.
the Kings and the same thing.
Alright, but it was on the second session.
Oh, okay.
So you two were on before, and then I went out, take guard, Colin Johnson, whack, whack,
Oh.
whack, whack. The things were getting through. And then I went back to the corner, and Mickey says, right, 0-0, that's good. So, Jesus, I just got the head punched on me.
Oh my god.
Still 0-0. Go do it again. Whack, whack, whack. And just uppercutting the head of me. Blood everywhere. I never get nosebleeds. I think that shows you how much he was hitting me.
Yeah.
Come back to the corner. There's 6 down. We need a big round here. So obviously Johnson had the fight in the bag, so he got on the bike, and I was just trying to. I remember Mickey Hawkins telling me, "Can the great Tommy McCarthy get a knockout because we need one?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." So I was swinging from the rafters. So I was devastated in the way that I lost in the final because I boxed well up until the final.
Yeah.
Boxing great, I'd say, and I had a great semi-final. So to come away with silver was really upset. I was more upset at myself because I lost the gold, and but then I enjoyed it. Paddy, us walking around the village with the medals and like rubbing it in people's faces. Not that I'm not that kind of guy, but I just what it was like for the boxers. We were kind of looked at as the second class citizens of the Commonwealth team.
You're right, tell me more.
Everyone was like all the other athletes were all kind of from affluent backgrounds, and we were all just we smack dogs from North and West Belfast. Said Jason. Nobody like they just didn't really just two different backgrounds. So can you remember it's probably after medals we were going, walking around looking at people? The swimmers and all they hated us.
I remember this. I remember the time on the plane on the way back home, we were sitting together on 100 miles and we started kicking together. I'm gonna say to someone, "Where's your one?" we were bad. We were bad.
Terrible. But it was just like it was a thing to say like, look, you weren't taking this serious, you were looking down on us, and now look, we've propped up this team. If it wasn't for us, it would have been a great failure, I think.
Yeah.
And now everybody wants to be friends. Everybody, oh, hello, Tommy. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Patrick. Whereas before it was like, look at these guys.
Exactly.
They're from the ghetto.
but like Tommy, see, likes the Commonwealth Games. I mean, obviously, 2010 Commonwealth Games. Like, would you say that like that it catapulted you more because like Commonwealth Games, it's a big tournament, obviously, but it's your first tournament fighting TV. So when you come home after winning a silver medal, the media coverage, they all want to talk to you, so that experience alone, will sit with you for like going to like further competitions, and even as a professional, you're able to deal with that there because you're experiencing it already.
Yeah, 100%. Paddy, like the Commonwealth Games is such a media friendly competition,
Yeah,
and it's my first, the only time I went to a multi sports event,
yeah,
and it was just great experience, and I was only 19 as well at the time, so it was just I lapped it up. It was great experience, and we were all mates. I was
yeah,
in India on the other side of the world with my friends, and it was just invaluable experience, as you say, to bring into the pros and that, doing interviews after the fights, fighting live on TV, and it was great. I enjoyed every minute of it.
and obviously, after that, there, I went home. I think, you didn't win the seniors the following year, did you? No, you think you won in 2012.
2012 one at
Yeah.
all.
And obviously, that made you. No, actually, in 2012, you moved to heavyweight, was it? And
Yeah,
you're
because I
unsuccessful.
went I went to the WBC when I came home from in 2011. I went to the WBC for Milano Thunder, and
Yeah,
the weights weren't normal weights. Remember, there was
yeah,
only
yeah.
five
Five
weights,
weights.
so I was 81, but I was boxing at 85.
Yeah, that's right.
So I built myself in the 85, and then I ended up getting bigger and bigger. And as I say, when I went to the Commonwealth Games, I was 19, so I hadn't even filled out. When I look at the fights now and the pictures, there was a big skinny drip. So during that time in the WSB, I started to fill out more and just getting bigger and stronger.
Yeah, like obviously you were one fight away from qualifying for the mix. Like, how did you feel like not like getting over the line?
As I said at the start of the interview, I didn't really the Olympics was never really
Yeah,
my lifelong goal, but I felt like crap because you kept slagging me. So, you and Mick kept just making me feel like a loser.
see, Tommy, that's what you call tough love. I was
No,
trying to
no.
support you, like just trying to fire you up.
That's what I said. But uh, in another interview I done, Michael Jordan in the Last Dance, and he was calling people all sorts of names, but it was just to spur them on. So I really just wanted to go to the Olympics more so because you and Mick were going, and I
Yeah,
wanted to be part of the crack. And obviously, if I got there, I wanted to win the gold medal. But when I look back, um, it would have been nice to have had that Olympic thing behind it because it would have made being pro a lot easier.
exactly. And you know that was London 2012. So the year after, you lost in the quarterfinals of both the Worlds and the Europeans. But actually, remember the quarterfinals of the Europeans, you lost to Mammadov of Azerbaijan, which I thought you won. I think,
Uh,
correct me if I'm wrong, was he as a bronze medalist in the Olympic Games?
yeah.
He,
At the
so,
time when I boxed him, he was number one in the world. So he was
yeah,
European champion, world silver, Olympic bronze.
yeah,
And again, I thought I won that fight too. I remember waiting on the decision, and me and you were like laughing from the ring, like slagging each
yeah.
other. And then uh, my mom was off, and I was like, Jesus, what's going
I
on
couldn't
here?
believe it. I thought I thought it wasn't that close fight. I thought you won quite
Yeah,
handily, and obviously because Azerbaijan and him being who he was, he obviously got the nod. But like with outcomes like that, there, was the decision to turn professional made much easier for you?
um, not really. After that tournament, then Brian McGregor actually offered me a contract the same pro, and I says no, the time wasn't right because the World Championships was coming up, and they offered me like it was a substantial amount to sign on, and the contract was
Yeah,
like big money. So it was almost like a fool. Not it was a big gamble not to sign with Cyclone. And then I went to World Championships, and then again I won. Oh, did I win 3 or 4 fights? I don't know. I won a lot of fights. I remember being the first boxer of the team fighting on the first day, and
yeah,
we were going, no, you'll not be on first because heavyweights are never. But shocked. I was fighting the first day. So when I got to the quarters, I ended up getting beat on a split 2-1. So I was hard to take, but then Pat McGee made me an offer that I couldn't refuse to turn
Yeah,
pro. So that was the only reason why I went pro. Or else I probably would have stuck around and tried to go to Rio.
yeah. Like I remember that quarterfinal. Like, the whole team thought, being from Ireland, you were one of the best boxing nations. You were fighting Argentina. It was like a
I
formality.
know.
Like you were gonna win, but it never happened, and you went pro. But like, you know, being being a competitor in Delhi, Commonwealth Games, and the media coverage, you got, do you have to think about giving the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow a crack because turning pro and getting a medal there at
Yeah.
home games being massive?
Well, that there was kind of like my thing. I'll go to Commonwealth and win the gold there, and then go pro if I was going to. But when me and Pat McGee sat down, he says, "Look, Tommy, you should have won that fight. The world rankings came out for that year, and I was number 9. He says, look, you're top 10 in the world. If you're top 10 in the world as a heavyweight professional, you're a millionaire. So you've been to Commonwealth Games, like you don't need to prove anything anyway." And the guy who I beat in World Championships from Canada, he actually went on and won the gold.
Yeah,
So just my main Pat talked about it. We were in agreement that there was nothing else left to do in the pros or in the amateurs, and apart from the Olympics. And the Olympic cycle's so long, and you don't know what way it's going to go. So the time was right to turn pro.
I was going to say something, Tommy. Obviously, Pat McGee is a very good manager, very successful businessman too. When he was telling you that there, the first thing in my head was, Tommy, don't do it. In my head, I think, you know what, Pat is smart because if you had won the Commonwealth Games and won gold, then your price tag would have been higher, and that
Mm.
he wouldn't like that there. You know what I mean?
Maybe so, but in fairness, like Pat did put a lot of money in it, so
Yeah.
it was the time was right. Like I don't have any regrets anyway. I'm glad I went when I did.
No, the Pat is obviously was and still is a great manager, for their fighters. But you turn professional, and again, Pat McGee got you fighting in your sixth fight, headlining in the Falls Park. And plus it was a great step up. I actually remember the guy who fought because I trained from Belfast when Tony Dotson was over. He fought
Mm.
Courtney Fry. What was it like headlining your first show in Belfast in such a great arena like the
It was
Falls Park?
great because obviously I'm from West Belfast, and the West Belfast feel means so much to us as a community.
Yeah,
So to have the first boxing event on it and to be topping the bill, I was loving it. And then Courtney Frere, like when Pat rang me and he says, "How do you feel about fighting Courtney Frere?" I wanted to say, "Nah,
yeah,
I'm not ready." But my male ego, my toxic masculinity wouldn't let me say nah. I was like, "Oh, you know, sweat." I was like, "Fuck's sake, this is a major step up. I've fought a couple of bums here, and now I'm
yeah,
fighting Courtney Frere." But it was a great night, and there was it was 2,000 people in the tent, but it felt like it was 20,000, and
yeah.
it was just unbelievable. Very proud moment for me.
It was a class night. I remember it well, and because again, I used to train with Tony with Courtney Fry, so I knew how good he was,
Yeah,
and which is great. But like after that, there, you fought a few more good fights, but you were sparring with before we can your career even more. You were sparring with Tony Bellew, like such a high caliber fighter. But
hmm
did you take for the camps of him?
I just Tony was he's so sound. I always say this is the nicest guy I've met in boxing. Up after yourself, obviously, probably, but he's just such a genuine guy, and to be when it was the camp before the first David Hay fight, so to be in there and work with him, and I was there for 6 weeks,
Yeah,
and he was at the time he was the WBC cruiserweight world champion, so to be in there with the best in the division, it was just great experience, and
Yeah,
it was just see how world title camps operate, because
yeah,
obviously up to that point I'd just been training, just doing my own thing, but I don't think before then I'd been in a world title camp, or not. I know you wasn't fighting for a world title, but in a world champions camp. So to see what way they're trained at the highest level was a good eye opener for me, and
yeah.
it was
Well,
it was all positive. There was nothing negative about. I haven't got any negative to say about him.
yeah. Well, back to your your professional career, um, you had a great win against John Lewis Dixon, and but obviously, you fought after that fight, you're gonna go
Yeah.
like leapfrog on, but next fight you lost to Monty Hoskins. It was your first professional defeat. How did you feel after losing your unbeaten record?
Thought that was it. Game over. Because we live in this era of boxing where if you have one loss,
Yeah,
oh, you're shit. And so that night I was like, oh, that's it. It's over before it's even started. And it was like, it was hard to take because the fight before, the John Lewis Dickinson, that was on live on Sky,
yeah,
and it was on the undercard of Ricky Burns' historical world title fight. So I was like, got so much praise from my performance against John Lewis Dickinson, and everyone, all the pundits, they were, oh yeah, McCarthy, that's the new star of cruiserweight division. So that fight happened in May, and I never fought Hoskins until might have been November or October. I think it was November. So to be up here and then just rock
yeah.
bottom, and it was just, I really thought it was over.
Yeah, it's obviously devastating.
Mm,
Yes, any pro lost the first fight. They really take a bad. But then after that, there, you're on the comeback, and you got
yeah,
another title opportunity to Richard Reactor. Um, and I think you admit yourself it was a very, very below par performance. You ultimately lost, but after you lost that fight, I thought myself that you're going to retire, but you didn't, and you got back on track straight away, which shows your mental strength. And then you went to Italy and took on the then WBC International champion, um, Fabio Turci, who was actually an ex-Italian Thunder teammate of mine. So I knew him very well. Um, so does winning that fight now, give you a different outlook on your career? Obviously it does, but are you more motivated to train because big things can be at stake down the line?
yeah, definitely. It was just, I forget who it was told me. I think it might have been, I think I'm gonna say it was David Price said this to me, and because when I was sparring Tony Bellew, Price come in one day because he was training with Dave Caldwell at the time,
Yeah,
and we were just talking away, just a wee small talk, and he said the beauty about this game, you're always one or two fights away from the big time, and so that always stuck in my mind. And then the fight against Turchi when I won, it just proved it. Like I was lost to Reactor, you're just like a bum, and then next thing you beat Turkey, and you're managing for the European, you're getting offered world title fights, you're back on top.
yeah.
So that there is the beauty of boxing. You have to stay consistent, and if you take a knock, don't let it get you down. Just get back in the saddle and keep on going.
Yeah, I think like any pros or body watching this, if I want to take anything away from it, a bit of advice, your career to date is something that they can do that, two
Yeah.
defeats, but straight back in again and meet their titles, and a possibility of
Yeah.
even
Because
bigger
that's it.
things.
You like if you listen to people, and in particular social media,
Yeah,
they could put you off and go, "Oh, I'm finished," and then just throw it up. But you have to believe in yourself, and almost like just blank everybody out. Well, this is only if you're actually talented. Like I know I'm talented because
Yeah.
I have the amateur pedigree and I know what I can do. So if you know that you're capable of doing something, the bumps in the road, you can't let them get you down. You have to just be like, regroup, look at the mistakes that you made, and try and correct them. And that's what I done. I know I'm capable of reaching the highest heights of this game. So I just got back to work and kept the faith and just believed in myself because
Yeah.
the hardest thing to do is believe in yourself when nobody else is. Like everyone after the Reactor fight, the general public and apart from the close ones to me, but like the general public would have thought it was finished. Oh,
Yeah.
McCarthy, he's a hype job. He's not going to do anything. And then going out to Italy, that's the only reason why I got that fight because Fabio hadn't fought. Well, he actually had a couple of good wins, but they were like McCarthy's a credible name. So you beat him, it'll look great to get that scalp in your record. So they brought me in to get beat.
Yeah.
So that opportunity, I was able to capitalize on it, and I've turned my career back around right to where it should have been anyway.
Yeah. So, tell me, what would you say would have been the most, like the biggest achievement of your career so far?
Well, I would have to say at last fight against Fabio
Yeah.
because it was like a world title fight. Probably everything out there was Fabio Turchi's the like the golden child of Italian boxing of matchroom Italy.
Yeah.
So the whole everything was built around him. And I remember before heading out there, about maybe 2 weeks before, and I was getting my weight down. I was eating like fish, just no sauce, just fish and like plain rice. And
Yeah.
then he was on. Somebody tagged me on something on Instagram, and he was out at half time at the Lazio match with his belt, talking about uh talking about the fight and hyping it up. I was like, yes, can't like he's living a high life, and I'm sitting here starving, busting my balls. So to get out there, to be the opponent, top of the bill, fighting for a title, and Maurizio Suleiman was there, Roberto Duran was there, live on Sky Sports in the zone. Like that was living a dream, and then to win the fight
Yeah.
was just fantastic. And then I felt like, in Rocky Four when he fights Drago, and at the start the whole crowd against him, and then at the end they're all shouting Rocky, Rocky. At the end, all the Italians started cheering for me. Tommy, Tommy. I said,
I
yeah,
mean, you know what?
grazie mille.
Your your greatest achievement of your career was actually my last ever fight. I remember
Oh
I
no,
fought a
you had
horse
to try and spoil on me. You're such a
that night.
spoiler, buddy.
I remember I looked at a horse that night. I was so down, like, and Jamie Cullen told me, Tommy McCarthy won his fight, and we're all like, I'm not joking. Obviously, we was really down a lot, but it actually lifted me up a bit because I know your career was on the line as well, and I'm so happy for you to
Yeah.
win that fight. You know what I mean? So
Well, what happened was the opposite in Italy. We were all jubilant and rejoicing. Then I sitting there waiting to do the drug test, and Mark come in and says, with his phone, right, look at that, Paddy lost. Ah, for fuck's sake. So we're all sitting there. No party, no drink. Everyone
ah,
straight to bed.
it's bad.
So well done.
Sorry, Tommy. Here. So what would you say would probably be, or not probably, what is the lowest moment of your career so far? No, I was thinking like something like your professional defeats or not only missing Olympic games, but
My lowest moment would definitely be reactor loss because I went through my whole amateur career of never being stopped. I always prided myself on having a good defense and a good chin. And then they lose against reactor by a stoppage, live on Sky Sports against somebody who I thought, I was going to win handy. So it was
yeah,
just embarrassing and just hard to take. And I, I really Actually, that night I announced my retirement. I says, you know what, my manager Mark, it's me, Mark. That's it. I'm finished. Told my family who came up to ask me, lads, I'm done. So I had to pull myself out of that
Uh,
slump. So thank God I did.
like obviously, see when you were when you went to the Irish senior team, right? So when you made the Irish senior team, you were still very young. You were only 18, um, and to be part of that team, you need to be in Dublin 4 days a week. So full time.
Hmm.
Was that tough for you, like leaving your family and friends in Belfast and basically living in Dublin?
Um, it wasn't that bad, like because the as I said at the start, we mimicked your Olympic training camp before going to World Youth. So instead of Tuesday or Friday, we stayed Wednesday to Saturday, and
Yeah,
so I was kind of like accustomed to it, and then Tuesday to Friday suited me better and when I joined the senior team because
yeah,
then you could go out on Saturday night then. So
oh,
now it was good and I was lucky enough that Tyrone McCann and Tyrone McCulloch both got on the team at the same time. So
are you
I
sure you're lucky,
wasn't
Tommy?
alone. I know, not lucky. But I had my friends with me.
Yeah,
But at the start, they were making enemies, and even though I wasn't taking part in all the pranks, just lumped us together
yeah.
because the three of us came as like
So
a
juniors on the
party.
team.
Juniors. So then slowly, Paddy you took us in, and then Carl was on the team, and then Ross Hickey, and slowly we started to
Yeah.
integrate. But at the start, it was just us three.
Like, and then obviously you went professional. How did you deal with going to like camps away and like sparring camps? You say you went to like Holland or something, I think it was, and sparring camp with Tony Value. Like how was it? How did you deal with going away, knowing like you had a wife and four young children at home? Did that affect you in any way? And did it drive you to succeed even more?
Yeah, definitely. Well, at the start when I was home fighting, I only had two kids, so um, it wasn't it wasn't as bad because I was used to it
Yeah.
as we say like we're in Dublin every week and going to camp, so going away doesn't really annoy me. And then now that we've got the two younger kids, they're going busting to get away here, trying to get sleep. Only joking, only messing. Don't want to leave my kids. I can't leave.
Oh, you're a baller.
No, no. I enjoy getting away. That's the I'm lucky. People like me and you are lucky, Paddy, that we've seen the world
Yeah,
and traveled for free. And we've been the obscure parts of the world. We've been the great parts of the world. So I'm grateful and thankful to have that opportunity. And I say we're lucky. We're not lucky. We worked hard to be able to
yeah,
live that kind of life. So um, I enjoy the traveling. I enjoy going to camps and meeting new people, and it's great.
yeah. So going forward now, obviously we're in lockdown because this stupid virus. Um, how do you feel now going forward about fighting behind closed doors?
I don't care. Behind closed doors is like the fans are making more of a deal out of it than what the boxers are because
Yeah,
any boxer who comes up as an amateur, nobody comes to watch you as an early stage of your pro career.
yeah,
Like I fought in the Odyssey at like 5 o'clock, and there's been just about 20 people there. A couple of times I fought on Burnett's undercard and I fought in Frampton's undercard, and I sold like 200 tickets both times. And when I was fighting, nobody was there. Like the people who bought the tickets off me didn't even come. So it's
yeah,
not like alien to be fighting in an empty stadium for boxers. So I don't mind as long as we can just get the fights.
yeah. That's true. No, is there any word? Um, on your next fight, is there any chance we could see you fighting for a European or world title soon?
Oh, there's Eddie Hearn ringing me now. Saturday? No, I'll not be ready for Saturday. So,
Hey, you want to do the fight rap for?
fuck at that. Nah, there's no word. I'm hoping for October.
Yeah.
Well, really, I would like September, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking realistically it'll be October because I've seen Boris Johnson saying about crowds at events, sporting events will be allowed back in October in England. So my fight will obviously be in England, and
Yeah.
so I'd like to get it in October.
I tell you this, what would it mean to be the first Black Irish world champion?
That would be unbelievable. To go down in history,
Yeah, history
first
books.
Black Irishman, and the Black Irish community's grown and grown, and we're getting more recognition. Like for years, Black Irish people were unheard of, and I always felt like growing up, I was the only one, and always kind of
Yeah.
made like a big deal out of it because I was proud. But now on social media and that, the Black Irish community is like connecting, and there's so many of us that in the country and around the world. So to be the first one to be a world champion, it'll be
Yeah.
absolutely great because I think I was the first Black Irish guy to represent Ireland at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
So it's great to be part of history and represent my peoples. Not being part
Yeah, it's great. It's
the
great.
Irish community.
Let's do it. So tell me, now I'll do a quick fire round here, right?
Oh, my
Um,
favorite.
oh yes. Right. If you could choose a different sport, what would it be?
Football.
Football. Who would you play for? Who would you play for? Tottenham?
Celtic.
Celtic. Who would you say is your greatest rival?
Kenny Egan.
Kenneth Egan. Good one. Do you have any pre-fight superstitions?
All sucks.
Hot socks. Okay. Have you got a favorite quote or a favorite saying?
Fuck Eamon, damn all right.
who, who told you out there, apparently?
Hi, Jimmy Nolan.
Jimmy Dolan's the man. Who's your favorite sports person, past or present?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Oh,
Can't be Muhammad Ali.
so tell me, have you any shouts for any of your sponsors?
Yep, I'd have to shout out Peak Physique and Northern Property. They've been on board from the start of my career, supported me through thick and thin, and the
Yeah.
support continues. So thank you very much. I want to shout out Billy Bob and Lux Interiors, who've been supporting me the last year. Great to have them on board.